Hey guys, so this is Joey, or Rowan, and this video is going to be the last about the Blue Moon Espat. I might be drinking some water, excuse me. Sorry, oh gosh. Right, so this video is what I learned, and it's going to be a more somber video than I had anticipated, because the lunar lessons, maybe, the Blue Moon Espat was a more somber and solemn and serious affair than I had thought would be the case. Leading up to it, I just anticipated it would just be a very light, joyful time where I would celebrate the moon, and I don't know, I thought it would be a lot lighter than it was. And so in the day up to that, that's how I was feeling. I was quite bouncy and light and joyful, and my purification bath was fun. I've said on the VR response to Thrive and Vine, it felt a bit like being sat in a huge cup of tea, because I had my herbs in a little sachet, and it sort of diffused slightly, and I just had this image of me sat in a cup of tea, and that made me giggle. And you know, I made my crescent cakes the day before, and it was all quite light and joyful. It's not that the Espat wasn't joyful, it's just there was some very serious overtones to it which I didn't anticipate. So firstly, how do I start this? Okay, well, firstly I'd set up my ritual and everything was fine and everything was going really well. And then I got to the part where you visualize. Now, I have never had a problem with visualization in my life, and by all accounts you're supposed to visualize the moon goddess as like you would imagine Selene, or, you know, long white flowy robes and light flowy hair and big blue eyes and iridescent skin and glittery and glowy and shimmery and shiny, and that's how you're supposed to visualize her. And I had, prior to this, wondered if it might not be that sort of goddess that came to me, and if it might be, now I don't know if I'm saying this right, Macha or Macha, or Macha, I think it's Macha. I don't know, it's M-A-C-H-A, which is the mother goddess aspect of the Morrigan triple goddess, and I've seen her recently on occasion, which is why I wondered if it might be her that showed up. A night before, or 2 nights before the blue moon, I saw her as I was flitting in and out of consciousness to go to sleep, and she looked a little bit like an older version of Sansa from Game of Thrones mixed with an elf, and she was very regal and had a very straight nose and bright green eyes and this red hair that was long and straight and then braided at the back. And you know, she was making herself known, and she's part of the triple goddess of Morrigan. She's one of the aspects. And when I had discovered Morrigan, there always was this flit about where there was somebody with red hair as well, and it was just another aspect of herself. So it's like as if she slightly turned her head, and you could see that other aspect as she turned, if that makes any sense. So I thought it might be her that showed up. It wasn't. And when I sat down to visualize the moon goddess, with, you know, I can see her in my mind's eye as I would visualize her now, with the long flowy white hair with maybe starlight falling on it and glittery bits and big blue eyes and a moon on her forehead, slight glow. I can visualize her right now as I would have seen her. But in the middle of my Espat ritual, for the first time in my life, my visualization got blocked. I couldn't see her. And I was like, what on earth? What on earth's going on? And I just was told, firstly, lean back into a more comfortable position, please, because the way you're sat is not comfortable for you. I have back problems, so it wasn't. So I did. I leant back against the chest of drawers behind me and relaxed a bit. And I was told to visualize myself at night time on a hill leaning against a tree with a full moon up there, and I could smell bonfire, which was a way off, so I could slightly hear the crackling and slightly hear the you know, the pop and fizz of the fire, and I could slightly smell it wafting towards me, but it wasn't a huge light, it was just far off. So I did that, and then Morrigan showed up. In leather, as in not full battle garb, but like a dressed down leather warrior type thing, with a black band tied around her hair, and in a sort of off-duty warrior sort of way. And I was like, okay, and we talked a bit, about some very personal stuff. Basically, accepting the choices that I had made already and being ready to make more changes and choices. And whenever I commune properly with the goddess, I cry. My eyes just well up and tears down my face. And that just happens every time I commune with the goddess. And it, throw you water on the floor. Not on the floor, on the desk. And that happened. So I was deeply moved by it. Not what I was expecting, but I was like, okay. And the other thing is, of course, I must mention, is that I am to honour the Morrigan every full moon as part of my devotion to her. And I had written my own dedication, which I said after the charge of the goddess, and I had written down a song prayer that I have a video on, which was a victory and peace song from one of her tales. Excuse me, this is quite... My teeth are playing up again, you have to excuse me. So that was unexpected, but, you know, still communing with my matron goddess, which fine. But then I got to the divination part next, and I was told very definitely to draw 3 cards, and then once I had analysed these 3 cards, then to pick a 4th. And that's not how I usually do divination. I usually pick 7 or do a spread, but I was told pick 3. So I picked 3, and I knew straight away that this was correct because the middle card was the Queen of Wands, who I have long associated in the deck with being me. So when I pull that card is me to me in my spreads. So the middle card was the Queen of Wands, which is me, and either side, it was so somber and solemn reading. It was quite depressing actually. And the card in the past, which is what had happened to me to that point, was like, you felt you have been betrayed by everybody around you. You felt you've been left alone and abandoned and betrayed and stabbed through the heart. And I was like, okay. And then the next card was, excuse me, the card after, which is the card where you sort of, this has sort of left you, is you isolated, shut off from the world. You don't want much to do with the world, and you need to engage a bit more with the world. And I thought, okay, it's one of the reasons I'm doing YouTube, so keep up with that. The light's going funny on the camera, but never mind. So I was like, okay, that's quite serious. And then I picked the next card as instructed, which was the Wheel of Fortune. Changes are coming. And earlier in the day I'd seen dragonflies, and apparently dragonflies are a symbol of air and change coming in. And then, so that was quite solemn, and I wrote down my messages and my, you know, what I had been told. And that, I shut it all down and had, you know, cakes and ale and grounded myself and grounded meditation and had a little chat with the gnome, not about the rituals as such, just because he'd been on his own for the hour that I was doing the ritual. And then I went to bed, and then I had dreams about, well, dream was me and my sister that I still have communication with, and we were going to the beach, and we were going through this tunnel to get to the beach, and it wasn't a very long tunnel. It was just like a hole in a stone wall basically with an archway, and we were going through, and as we were going through I see a huge tsunami wave coming towards me, and I was and screamed run and tried to run away back from it, but got caught up in it, and I got underwater and I skimmed the top of this tunnel, which was way high up, as I skimmed underneath it just, and came out the other side and got to a point where I clung onto something that was out of the water, a rock with netting on it, I think, and I was safe. I screamed out for my sister, and she was safe on a different rock with netting where most people went to be safe. And it was like, wherever I went to be safe was not where most people went to be safe. I mean, water, waves, emotion, change, big crashing waves. You know, it's not light-hearted stuff, is it really? So it's not what I had expected from Blue Moon Espat, but obviously these are my lessons. This is all very personal, I realise, and I meditated on whether I should share this, but I had been told that I need to be more out in the world, so this is my first step in that, being more out in the world. So I'm sharing it. It's not what I had expected at all from my first Espat. I had thought it would be lighter than this. I guess it is what it is, and you get told what you need to know, and if changes are coming, changes are coming. I couldn't really do my spell work very well on the same day, on my ritual day. I went back the next day and finished it, and did it again, but not sort of expanded on the bit that I'd already done and really put my power into it, because I felt like, ooh, glitter there. There you go, some glitter. I felt like I had put enough energy into it, because the Espat ritual had wiped me out, and the next day, up until the point I felt quite, and yesterday I felt really, 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 really drained, and I wasn't best pleased yesterday, because the evening before the neighbours had been drilling at 8:30 at night, and yesterday they had a party, and it's fine, I'm not having a go at them having a party outside with kids and stuff, but they were there from 11 o'clock in the morning until probably 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, out in the, and I had a headache, my gnome had a headache, they were playing music, kids screaming, rah, 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 all day, and it's just, you know, if we did that, there would be complaints, so, but there you go, never mind. So today I'm purifying again, because I had nightmares last night, and it wasn't very nice. So I've got to purify the room and all the rest of it. And then today is, generally speaking, me having a day to chill. I'm hoping some stuff's going to come in the post for me today. If it doesn't, I'll be quite cross, because a friend sent me some stuff quite some time ago and it hasn't turned up yet. I'm sick of the post office, I really am. Sorry, this has gone from Blue Moon to me ranting. I've just noticed what I have learned versus me being annoyed. Meh. So I'm waiting for birthday stuff, basically. So, you know, if it doesn't come for my birthday, it's a bit disappointing, really, isn't it? Naomi ordered me, because I really wanted one, on Pagan Dreams. It's this gorgeous, it's called a Power Quartz cauldron, and it's a little silver cauldron, and it has all quartz crystals in it. Oh, and they're limited, like they're not going to have many in, and I was like, no, I need one, it's so gorgeous. So we've ordered one for my birthday, so hopefully that'll come today or tomorrow, because Pagan Dreams are really pretty good usually. Even if it doesn't come in time, that won't be too much of a shock horror, because we ordered it quite late. But Pagan Dreams are pretty good usually, like I keep saying, bigging them up, but so there's that. So hopefully all my stuff will come, and I may, oh, excuse me, I may or may not do any videos tomorrow depending on birthday things, because we don't have to go to TK Maxx anymore, which is somewhere we were going to go. I mentioned they didn't have any no autumn stuff. I couldn't believe it. Like the year before, I got a wreath for £4 or £5. It was I've still got it. I'm going to use it again this year. It's gorgeous autumn colours. But I really quite fancied, you know, one of those little horns of plenty, the cornucopias that you have for autumn. I really fancied a little one of them. Nothing. Not a single thing. And they had them this time last year. So I was a bit like, ugh. But never mind. Never mind. We shall venture on. As long as they have Halloween stuff. If they don't have Halloween stuff, I won't be going to the manager like, don't have Halloween stuff. They will. So yeah, so we're not going out anymore on my birthday, apart from to go get the Chinese food, which I'm having for my birthday, because I love Chinese food and I'm not generally allowed takeaway food because I'm dieting. So it's for my birthday. Yay! And some drinks. So I may or may, depending on what turns up tomorrow, if I get all my presents, if I have any time, I may do that. I don't know. Nomi might not be impressed if I do a video on my birthday. He's took the day off. So we'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. So that's it for this video. I really thought I needed to share my Blue Moon experiences, because I don't know if it happened to anybody else, but it was a really serious message about getting ready for change, accepting change, realising this had happened and I felt like this and this had left me isolated, and I needed to accept that I needed to move away from being isolated. You don't need to tell me twice, I'm quite lonely, and yeah. So there you go. So that's it for this video. I think I've rambled long enough. Yeah, so if anyone else had any serious blue moon messages, and you don't mind sharing them, I fully understand if people have had serious messages and they're like, you know, these are my messages, they're personal, blah blah blah. You know, don't share them then. But you could inbox me, let me know, or reply to me, so I know I'm not the only one. Anyway, many blessings.